It was the night of my mother's funeral when I decided to become a pianist. The cold rain lashed against my face as I stared at the old, weathered piano that stood in the corner of our living room, a once treasured relic of our family history. As I closed my eyes, I felt an inexplicable connection to the instrument, as if it were a part of me. My fingers ached to touch the keys, to bring forth the melodies hiding within my soul. My mother had always been a guiding force in my life, teaching me to listen to my heart and follow my intuition. As I stood there, her words echoed in my mind. Intuition makes you feel uncomfortable. Fantasy doesn't. It was in this moment that I truly understood her wisdom. I knew I couldn't ignore this deep yearning any longer. It was time to embrace my destiny. From a young age, my mother had nurtured my love for music, encouraging me to explore my creative talents without fear or judgment. She recognized that my passion for the piano was more than just a fleeting fantasy, but rather an intuitive bond with the instrument. However, our family's financial situation had always been a barrier to pursuing my dream to its fullest extent. The days following my mother's funeral were filled with both grief and a newfound determination to fulfill my purpose. The weight of reality began to set in. Not everyone in my family shared my enthusiasm for my newfound ambition. My father, concerned about the practical aspects of life, believed that pursuing a career as a pianist was a foolish and unrealistic dream. My siblings, while supportive, were unsure of how to help me in my journey. As I grappled with these external obstacles, it was the internal battles that proved to be the most challenging. Self-doubt and fear of failure clawed at my heart, threatening to suffocate my dreams before they even began. It was during these moments of despair that I encountered Mr. Davis, the kind-hearted, elderly man who lived down the street. A retired music teacher, he had heard whispers of my newfound ambition and saw something in me that others couldn't. Despite his modest means, Mr. Davis offered to teach me piano for free, recognizing both my passion and the financial constraints that burdened my family. I gratefully accepted his offer, and we began our weekly lessons in his small, cozy living room. As our sessions progressed, I found solace in his wise words and gentle guidance, which ignited a fire within me to overcome my challenges. Mr. Davis often spoke of the importance of following one's intuition and emphasized the distinction between a true calling and a mere fantasy. "Sarah," he would say with a warm smile, "your connection to the piano is something special, something that transcends the ordinary. Trust your intuition, and it will lead you to greatness." Inspired by Mr. Davis's teachings, I began to embrace my intuition wholeheartedly, allowing it to guide my practice sessions and fuel my determination. I poured my heart and soul into mastering the piano, spending countless hours refining my technique and broadening my musical repertoire. I soon found that the more I trusted my intuition, the more I was able to rise above the obstacles that had once seemed insurmountable. One day, Mr. Davis approached me with a life-changing opportunity, an audition for a prestigious music academy. The academy was renowned for nurturing world-class talent, and acceptance would provide me with the resources and guidance to transform my dreams into reality. Despite the intense competition and rigorous selection process, Mr. Davis believed that my intuitive connection to the piano would set me apart from the other applicants. With a mixture of excitement and trepidation, I prepared for the audition, determined to prove that my intuition was the key to my success. As the day of the audition approached, I felt the familiar stirrings of doubt and fear beginning to surface. I wrestled with the thought of playing it safe by performing a well-known classical piece or following my intuition and presenting an original composition of my own. It was in these moments of uncertainty that I remembered my late mother's advice and Mr. Davis's unwavering support. I held on to their words like a lifeline, allowing them to ground me and ultimately guide my decision. I chose to trust my intuition and perform my original piece, even if it would raise eyebrows among the judges and risk my acceptance into the academy. The day of the audition finally arrived, and as I entered the grand auditorium filled with talented, aspiring musicians, I felt both humbled and empowered. My hands trembled slightly as I approached the baby grand piano on stage, the spotlight casting a warm glow around the instrument. Taking a deep breath, I centered myself, focusing on the connection I felt with the piano and the intuitive guidance that had brought me to this moment. As my fingers danced across the keys, I poured every ounce of my soul into the performance, sharing a piece of myself with the judges and the audience. My original composition, a hauntingly beautiful melody that captured the essence of my journey, flowed effortlessly from my heart through my fingertips. As the final notes rang out, a sense of serenity washed over me, knowing I had stayed true to myself and my intuition. Following the audition, I anxiously awaited the results. There were moments when self-doubt crept back in, and I questioned whether my choice to perform an original piece had been the right one. However, I reminded myself of the wisdom imparted by my mother and Mr. Davis, and I reaffirmed my trust in my intuition. When the results were announced, I was elated to learn that I had been accepted into the prestigious Music Academy. The judges were particularly impressed with my original composition, praising its depth, emotion, and the clear intuition that had guided its creation. My family, touched by the transformation they had witnessed in me, offered their heartfelt congratulations and support for my future endeavors. As I began my studies at the academy, I continued to embrace my intuition, allowing it to guide my growth as a musician and a person. Over time, my talent flourished, and I developed a reputation for my unique, intuitive playing style that resonated with audiences around the world. I was no longer just a pianist. I had become an artist, a storyteller, and an inspiration to others who dared to follow their own intuition. In the years that followed, I often thought back to that fateful night of my mother's funeral, the moment when my intuition had called out to me, urging me to pursue my dreams. I realized that it was this intuitive connection, coupled with the unwavering support from those who believed in me, that had made all the difference. As I touched the lives of others through my music, I knew that my mother's spirit lived on within me, and I became a living testament to the power of intuition and the limitless potential it held. As my career blossomed, I became a sought-after pianist, performing in prestigious concert halls and collaborating with renowned orchestras worldwide. My success, however, never dampened my desire to give back and inspire others. Driven by the lessons I had learned from my mother and Mr. Davis, I decided to establish a foundation that would provide opportunities for young musicians from underprivileged backgrounds to discover their own intuitive connections and unlock their potential. The foundation, named The Intuitive Melodies, quickly gained momentum, attracting the support of like-minded artists, educators, and philanthropists who shared my vision. We developed programs that nurtured the intuitive talents of these young musicians, offering scholarships, mentorships, and performance opportunities that propelled them toward their dreams. One particular student, a young girl named Emily, stood out among the many talented individuals we supported. Emily's gift for the violin was unmistakable, and her intuitive connection to the instrument was reminiscent of my own journey with the piano. As her mentor, I saw in her the same burning passion, the same unwavering determination that had carried me through my darkest moments. I became deeply invested in Emily's growth, offering guidance and encouragement at every step of her journey. Emily soon blossomed into a remarkable musician, her intuitive playing capturing the hearts of all who listened. As she rose to prominence, I couldn't help but feel a profound sense of pride and gratitude. My foundation had not only allowed me to share my gift with the world, but had also created a legacy that would continue to inspire countless others who, like Emily and me, were drawn to the transformative power of music and intuition. Years later, as I prepared to take the stage for my final performance, I reflected on the extraordinary journey that had led me to this point. From the ashes of loss and despair, I had risen, guided by the unwavering love of my late mother and the steadfast support of my mentor, Mr. Davis. It was my connection to the piano, my intuition, that had given me the strength to overcome adversity and fulfill my deepest aspirations. As the curtain rose, I offered a silent prayer of gratitude and stepped into the spotlight one last time, ready to share the magic of my music and the legacy of the intuitive melodies with the world.